Hi, this is Bruce Boxleitner, and you're listening to Mark Who 42.
Welcome to Mark Who 42 here on Odyssey Radio. I'm your host, Mark Baumgarten, and with me today are Eduardo M. Freyre.
Howdy.
Patricia Freyre.
Hey, how's it going?
And Zion Kiros. Zion Kiros.
Waiting to get into the MCU.
Yes, we are.
Zion, you gotta be careful. I don't know if Victor will appreciate someone impersonating him like this.
No, but we want the Fantastic Four to enter the MCU, so he's going by the name of Von Doom today. I appreciate that. Today's show is all about Avengers Endgame. The Russo brothers a couple weeks ago said it was fine to tell spoilers. So we're going to tell spoilers on Endgame. You've had enough time to watch this movie. This movie's been out for a month now. I think it's time to talk about it. But before we do that, let me just talk a little about Red Nose Day. It's on NBC this week. And Red Nose Day started out as a British charity event that has now become a worldwide thing, and it's to benefit children in the United States, in England, and the poor children around the world, in Africa, in poor nations. And there's actually some interesting news. They had this in March when it was on in UK, and now it's going to happen for one lucky or two lucky people in the United States, but one winner. American Doctor Who fans have the same opportunity that the British did. The Red Nose Day USA is hosting an exciting opportunity for one plus one friend, family member, lucky winner to have breakfast with the Doctor herself, Jodie Whittaker, and a tour of the Doctor Who set, as well as an all-travel expense paid for and accommodations in a 4-star hotel. Now, breakfast and set visit dates have yet to be announced. You get to go see Series 12 being made and have breakfast with Jodie Whittaker. How cool is that, guys?
I want that. I want it.
Yeah, I want it too. I've already entered. Residents of the U.S. over the age of 18 are eligible to enter a Red Nose Day USA prize draw for breakfast with Jodie Whittaker plus a tour of the Doctor Who set. The winner may bring one guest over 18 or a younger guest over 14 years old, provided the winner is their parent or guardian. So if you won, Trish, I don't think you'd be able to take Ed. I beat that. Well, no, but you could pay for his airfare, and he could stay in your hotel, and you could probably sneak him into the breakfast and the set.
I'm sure that they would make that they wouldn't mind if a husband and wife team did this.
Yeah. It says parent or guardian, but yeah, husband or wife should. Yeah, I think that'll work. The Red Nose Day USA will air on May the 23rd on NBC. The deadline to enter the contest is the 27th of June at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, and the winner will be notified on or around July the 11th. Now, like I said, Red Nose Day USA drives positive change through the power of entertainment. They end child poverty. In 2015, it started in the U.S. We've raised over $150 million in its first 4 years. They've earned $1 billion globally for this charity since 1988. So now Omaze is the charity that is running this contest. So go to omaze.com And we'll actually put a link on the podcast version of this, so you can go to the entry site, and we'll put it on our Facebook page and our Twitter page, so you can sign up. And I think it's like 10 cents an entry, because it's $10 for 100 entries, $25 for 2,500, 250 entries. It's really inexpensive. It goes to a good cause. So please help out Red Nose Day and Omaze and the children across the world. Let's end poverty, guys.
Yes.
And meet Jodie Whittaker. I'd love to see the set. I want to see the show being made. I mean, this is an amazing thing.
I wonder if they'll let you on the TARDIS set.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think that would definitely be cool. And I bet they will, because you'll be at the studio. So yeah, you should be able to go on the TARDIS set. But that's not what this show is about today. And we're going to let Ed, our Marvel Cinematic Universe genius, take over from me, the Marvel Cinematic Universe clumsy oaf. Ed?
Not just MCU genius, but Marvel genius. Period. Okay, I've been a Marvel zombie fan for quite a while.
I've read Marvel comics since the 70s, so I mean, I do know my way around it. But I never read the Infinity War storylines in the comics, because I just wasn't interested in the galactic Marvel universe. I was only on the Earth-based universe stuff. So I missed a lot of Infinity War and Infinity Gauntlet and the Thanos stories. I didn't even like Guardians of the Galaxy until the movies came out.
Whoa.
Okay, well, see, there you go. Then it's good that you have me here, because yeah, I've been a Marvel fan for years, and I actually liked the Guardians of the Galaxy before the movie. I liked the Guardians of the Galaxy when it was the 30th Century crowd.
Oh, cool.
So
well, it's good to have you here.
But yeah, so it's good that you got me here. But hey, we're not talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy, although well, they are a part of this. But
yeah,
we're talking about Endgame, which, I mean, I can't think of a more appropriate title, because this puts a nice little bow on the first chapter of the MCU. And honestly, I mean, Trish, you and I saw it opening night, and I loved it. I was in nerd heaven. I think there were a couple of times I think I was cheering so loud you were about ready to tie me down to the chair. You were just about ready to jump in there and just be like, "Uh-oh, I'm gonna have to tie my husband down."
I actually saw it opening night too. We got the tickets 2 hours before showtime. I don't know how we did that. I don't know how we did that, but we did.
Okay, you're lucky. You are really lucky, because yeah, it was getting it. We were lucky to get the tickets that we got when they went on sale. I mean, Trish, what like?
So yeah, I mean, I knew that they were going to go on sale April 2nd. Well, that was the rumor anyway, and so I even stayed up late that night until past midnight, because I thought, oh, maybe they'll, drop at midnight. They didn't, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll go to bed, whatever. Well, when I woke up at 6 to get ready for work, I immediately opened my the website and went on there, and I saw the tickets had dropped, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And so I went on to the website for the movie theater here, and we usually have to go to around a 7 o'clock show, and I was buying 25 tickets. It was for, we usually go with a group of friends, and I usually buy the tickets, and people pay me back and everything. But I went in there, and the showing we'd normally go, almost all the tickets were gone already.
Oh.
And I found out that they had dropped around 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, so there were that many people here in Reno up that late or that early and bought all those tickets. And so I'm like, okay, crap, what are we going to do? So I went to the other Galaxy Theater that's here, and I was able to find a group of 25 seats together.
So
3
we were
able to go there.
3 a.m. they dropped, so that would have been 6 a.m. on the East Coast.
Yes.
Yeah, which makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We get
but
screwed over so much on the West Coast, you know.
that's not fair. But you know what? That's cool about Mark Who 42 because we're on 9 p.m. on Mondays on the East Coast and 9 p.m. on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're on both coasts.
But so we did manage to get the tickets that we needed, and we did get a good movie theater. We didn't.
Good.
It's not like the only times we got, we're in a movie theater with bad sound and horrible seats. We got a good
we paid a little bit extra to get the DFX Atmos sound, which is, I think it's worth it.
Yep.
Well, that's good.
But movie, I think as far as the movie itself is concerned, though, getting to the film itself, honestly, I mean, I gotta say, I loved it. I love it. If it's probably if not my favorite MCU movie, then it is definitely top 5 at least. I mean,
wow.
And as a film that's supposed to be like a finale to the Infinity Saga and the first 10 years of Marvel movies, I think it did its job excellently.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I thought this movie was my favorite. This movie is up in my mind with A New Hope and Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan. I mean, this movie was amazing. I mean, I liked Infinity War, but this was so much better.
Well, Infinity War. I mean, I like Infinity War as well, but Infinity War was chapter 1.
Well, yeah.
So you end up with that. You end up with that with that feeling of like, okay, I feel incomplete. That's because there's more story to tell.
Right.
And Endgame is like chapter 2. It's like, okay, here's the part 2. Here's how we wrap it up. And I do have to admit that when I have to admit that watching Endgame, going in, there were ideas that I had in my head of like what I thought it would be. And yeah, there were things that were just totally opposite of what I thought or not what I was expecting. But honestly, the way that they did it, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Like I'm sure, show of hands. Okay, show of hands for the people in the group right now. How many were expecting that this was going to be, wall-to-wall action?
You can't see our hands, but I'm raising my hands.
I'm not raising my hands because I knew about the pee breaks, so I knew there were going to be some slow moments.
Okay, what about you, Zion?
No, I expected a good amount of dialogue, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The dialogue would have been important too.
Yeah. But I mean, it's what I wasn't. I got to admit that going in, there was rumors that time travel and all that stuff would play a part. Finally seeing how it does, was really it was interesting seeing the rumors like proven or see what was true, see what wasn't. It was interesting though the amount of red herrings that were thrown in there. Like, we did have, we had poor Ant-Man stuck in the quantum realm. It did play a part, but not how we all thought. I mean, I remember seeing Ant-Man and Wasp, and then seeing Captain Marvel was coming up, and I thought what would happen is that Scott Lang would end up in the 90s, and that he would play a part in getting Captain Marvel to modern day. When it just ended up like, oh no, it's no, simply the quantum realm did play a part, but Captain Marvel simply got there, got to the events of the movie, as they would say in Doctor Who, the long way around.
Yeah.
There was no time cheat, which honestly I'm okay with, and the explanation for where she's been was, not perfect, but not horrible either. That she was just on the other side of the galaxy, not, there's just a lot of stuff going on, so it's not like she has an easy commute. something though I noticed is that they did not touch a lot on the end credits scene to Captain Marvel, the one that linked her to Endgame.
Yeah.
Well, they just assumed that people had seen Captain Marvel. I mean,
and saw the post-credit.
and yeah, because I had some people say that they left that scene out of the movie, and I'm like,
in the movie?
no,
It wasn't supposed to be in the movie. It was in the end credit. It was in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they're not going to replay it because everybody that you should have seen it.
Yeah, you should have.
I think part of it is that it's interesting. A part of it is that it's assuming that everybody by now knows you do not leave a Marvel movie during the credits because you might miss something.
Well, I don't know that anymore.
Well, okay, we'll get to that. Hey, heel, wait. Anyway, they assume first of all that people are going to stay through the end credits because they know better by now. I think the other thing is that you look at there was that scene at the end of there was that scene at I'm trying to remember which film it was, but I think it was Ant-Man that tied into Captain America: Civil War because it had that scene with Falcon and Steve finding Bucky.
Yes.
And it hinted that Ant-Man was going to join in. You had that scene again in Captain America: Civil War. There was the scene with Thor and Doctor Strange at the end of Doctor Strange. You had that scene again in Doctor Strange, but this time expanded. And I admit I thought that we would get that scene again, but expanded. Like we get her arrival again and a bit more. But though, I mean, end of the day, as surprising as that is, I'm not like, it's not like, oh, that's it, movie's ruined. F this, I'm just like, okay, wow, they didn't have that. They just jump right in. Like you had the scene from the trailers with Tony Stark in the ship, and thinking what the heck are we gonna do? And then, oh, this is how they get back to Earth. Captain Marvel found them and brought them back. And I'm okay with that. I thought that was kind of a cool scene with Marvel just glowing right outside the window and all the Avengers out there and Pepper Potts out there too. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. That does though bring me, one thing I did want to ask the group is, Captain Marvel, her participation in the film was not as I think as much as people were expecting. I think they were expecting her to be more of a presence, but I don't know. What does everybody think about that? Like, Trish, what do you think?
Oh, I thought she was going to be in there more too, but it didn't. But as the movie progressed, I realized that it was actually better the way they did it, because if they just made her the end all be all savior of this whole movie, what's the point of having everybody else there? And so I liked that, that she was there, in the beginning and there at the very end to come in and help save the day. I think it worked really well.
I gotta say, I didn't expect her to be in the movie a lot because, the snap wasn't just 50% of the Earth, it was 50% of the universe. And so she, as defender of the universe, she had to go out and work her skills elsewhere. So she couldn't be on Earth the whole time.
Well, she could have.
Well,
this is trying to help prevent everything,
Yeah, but we're preventing things on Earth because we live on Earth as moviegoers and we're watching it in Earth's perspective. But the rest of the universe is much vaster than Earth, so she had to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
She had to
Zion. Zion, what do you think?
I expected more of Captain Marvel simply because of her movie placement. Like, having her be movie right before Endgame and her pretty much almost not be in the movie kind of didn't sit well with me. Except for the like if she was not in the movie solely for the part that that everything is happening throughout the universe because of Thanos, that makes sense. But for her to just come in at the right end and just essentially be a giant nuke to get rid of Thanos' giant ship just didn't fit with me.
But if you think about it, Endgame actually ended 20 minutes into the movie, and Captain Marvel was in that part of the movie. And when they realized, okay, Thanos is dead, and we can't save the universe, and that's it, and we have to just go on. So she was in the important bit at the beginning, and then she left to do.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that there was going to be, like this 5 years later thing.
Right.
And so it made sense that why would she hang out for 5 years on Earth when there's other stuff to do?
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, and that's what I was saying.
That the whole idea of the 5-year jump, I thought, was an interesting way to go. Especially because that first battle with Thanos, when the Avengers catch up to him and take him out, it's really interesting because it's like Infinity War ended with the Avengers losing.
Mm-hmm.
You had all these heroes get together, they battled Thanos, and Thanos did the snap. He took out half the universe. They decided to live up to the Avengers name, but it's interesting because it's like they won, but they lost.
Yeah.
You beat Thanos, but so what? That's like one of the things that's kind of interesting is just is how that affected Thor.
Oh my God, did that affect Thor?
It's like, the dad bod Thor thing became an internet meme, and I've seen it. I've seen it used for comedy, and I've actually seen it used for empowerment as well. For like people saying, hey, they're pointing out later on when Thor gets a hold of Mjolnir, that it's like, oh, he's still worthy, and how awesome that moment is. But it's interesting. I know that there's one person that I spoke to that was not a fan of Dad Bod Thor. Not because it's like, oh my God, Chris Hemsworth, looks like, they put Chris Hemsworth in a fat suit. It's that they didn't like the fact that a lot of it, of the comedy that was played for it. Like Thor's mom telling him eat a salad, or the two Big Lebowski jokes. For me, I think I what I liked about that development though is, well, first of all, I don't, some people call fat shaming. I didn't see it. I mean, yeah, there were a couple of jokes, the eat the salad, eat a salad or something. But the thing that I got away from it is it's interesting, that development. It ties into what I'm saying, the fact that they won but they lost, and this is Thor basically, he's like, this is how I'm going to fulfill my destiny. Well, destiny came, and it's like, wait, what? I failed to kill this guy once. I finally killed the guy, and it's like, so what? Especially because Thanos is just like, okay, yeah, just go for it. It's like, okay, you kicked my ass. I still took out half the universe.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how that affected everyone. Because like you have Black Widow, who basically kind of is like leading the Avengers, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because she was there at the compound. She was coordinating with everybody. Cap is just trying to help everybody cope. Everybody who's left cope. Which, by the way, I know Trish did not pick up on this, but did either of you two spot the important cameo in when Cap is doing the survivor group meeting?
No.
Hold on.
No googling it, Mark.
No, I'm not. You can.
It's got to be an immediate yes or no.
You can see my hands. I'm not googling it.
Okay. I don't know the way you say "hold on." It's like wait. Let me look this up.
I'm trying to use the telepathy that we have. Wasn't it was a villain, wasn't it?
No,
not
a villain.
No, I forgot who it was.
Okay, in the Survivor group meeting that Cap is running, okay, one of the people there is played by Jim Starlin, the guy who created Thanos.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Jim Starlin made a little cameo.
Yeah, he was the.
I wouldn't have known that. I forgot what he looked like. I'm sorry, Jim.
Same.
I'm sorry.
He was He was the older guy with glasses. He gets like one line, but the camera is actually on him when it says it. But yeah, that's Jim Starlin.
That is so nice.
Cool. The creator of Thanos, the one that we can give credit for getting us to this point. Yep, he made a cameo, which by the way, I'm like, yeah, if anybody else really should get like a nice cameo besides Stan Lee, it's great that Jim got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's great that he got it. The other one, and yeah, we got Hawkeye.
Yeah.
After he took a break last movie, cool seeing him in the Ronin outfit.
Yes, it was.
Actually, after Endgame came out, I actually found on eBay a Ronin action figure, and I bought it. I showed Trish, and Trish, I asked you. I said, okay, well, which outfit do you like better? Do you like the movie outfit or the comic book version? Which one did you say?
I said the comic book version, didn't I?
Yeah. You literally said, yeah, that one's cool. So yeah. Although, hey, as far as translation from page to screen goes, the outfit was, it was not bad. It was not bad. I don't know why Hawkeye did that to his hair, though. I think that's one thing that a lot of fans are just, but yeah, his arc. I know actually that it comes. It's interesting because I did have this with the same person who didn't like the dad bod Thor was used. They were not a fan of Hawkeye kind of going rogue like this.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of wondered why. I mean, okay, a little bit of a spoiler because, part of the time, the time travel aspect is the Avengers picking up the gems from different points in time.
And we'll do that in the second half. We'll talk about the time travel in the second half.
Yeah, they did. Well, part of their time travel is unfortunately somebody had to take a dive to get the Soul Stone, and Black Widow sacrifices herself to get it.
Yeah.
The person I spoke to was not happy with the fact that Black Widow was the one that got sacrificed, and even kind of wondered why it wasn't Hawkeye, especially because he had been going down this dark path.
Well, he had to redeem himself. He had children waiting for him.
Yeah.
It just worked. You couldn't kill him.
Yeah. I mean, it does. I got to admit, I was not, I didn't like the fact that Black Widow died, but at the same time, it's like I'm going through all this, like I'm trying to go through all this, shuffle this in my head, and I'm like, it's like just the way that it was done. There was no way it could have been anybody else.
I saw so much backlash on Facebook and the internet over her dying and saying that she got fridged, and I'm just like,
fridged?
Were we watching the same?
I don't think they were watching the same movie.
No,
it's like I would have been ticked off if it had been Hawkeye because he lost his family for 5 years, and then if he dies and they come back and he's gone, that would have sucked.
Not only that.
Let's take a break. Let's take a break. We'll be right back with more of this interesting conversation here on Mark Who 42 on Odyssey Radio. We'll be right back, guys. Sorry.
Don't go away. We'll be back with more Mark Who 42 after this.
You're listening to Odyssey.
Oh my God, it's full of stars.
You're now listening to Mark Who 42 from the Whoniverse and beyond.
Welcome back to Mark Who 42 on Odyssey Radio. We are having a great discussion on Avengers Endgame. I cut us off in the middle of a conversation. And take over.
Oh, geez. Middle of the conversation, I think we were talking about Hawkeye versus Black Widow. Like, should Hawkeye have taken the dive to get the Soul Stone? And yeah, I kind of feel like it would have been a DC extended universe move to kill Hawkeye and not give him his family reunion. Yeah, I said it. It would have been a Batman v Superman, Man of Steel depressive move.
And also, people were going off about, well, there was a big funeral at the end for Tony Stark. Where was the funeral for Black Widow? She's the one that kept everything going for the 5 years, and then she dies, and it's like nobody cares. It's like,
that is a good point.
Everybody cared, but there was probably something. You can't show everything.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a 3-hour, 2-minute movie.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly. I mean, I will say this. We are dealing with, and to borrow from another franchise, we are dealing with some wibbly wobbly timey wimey. So I mean, the Russo brothers did say that there's no way of getting Natasha back. That the way the Soul Stone works, it's not, well, you're done with the Soul Stone, so here's the soul you used back. No, it's you picked up the Soul Stone, so that's it. Even if you return it, you still used it, so the soul still.
What about the Red Skull? What about the Red Skull? He's still around.
Yeah, but he wasn't a Soul Stone sacrifice.
He was true.
What happened was he ended up on Vormir, and some sort of cosmic force is like. And guess what you get to do? You get to hang around here bored as hell for like the rest of eternity. Okay, so congratulations, you stupid Nazi jerk. This is what you get.
Hail Hydra.
So yeah, but there is one thing. I mean, they have said that there's no way to bring Black Widow back. Hopefully that's them just, throwing that out there to kind of get fan theories to stop running, which, yeah, good luck with that.
But
There's a Black Widow Academy, so you could have another Black Widow, and maybe this Black Widow happened to be the sister of Scarlett Johansson, so it looks like Scarlett Johansson Scarlett Johansson, and there you go, you got a new Black Widow.
Huh.
No, Zion, I want to know what you mean. I mean, did you mean that there's a way to bring Black Widow back, or to...
No, like to bring her back. Like technically, like since we have Gamora here from the past, can't we just use the same machine and same pin particles to go to the past and just get a past Natasha to the present, just like with Gamora?
Hey, that's what some people are saying. That is what some people are saying.
That's a good point.
That is some
wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, right?
I was talking to somebody the other day. And saying that, a Black Widow movie is in the works, and, they say it's going to be an origin movie, but even with origin movies, there's always some sort of framing device. And what could the framing device be? It could be, the framing device might be a way to bring Natasha back. It may even be another Black Widow getting trained by the Red Room and hearing Natasha's story. Maybe it could be maybe it could be both. But before we get Black Widow back, we did, in addition to Gamora, it seems we may be able to have someone else back. You of course know who I'm talking about, right?
Mr. Mischief himself.
Yep, God of Mischief himself, Loki. He swiped the Tesseract when things snafu'd back at the Battle of New York, and he disappeared.
That is one thing that I wonder how none of the Avengers noticed. Like, okay, the Tesseract's gone, but wait, no one says, wait, where's Loki?
Well, it's one of those things that it happened so quick, nobody had time to if anybody did say where's Loki, it happened after we left the scene.
Right.
Because right at that moment, there's just all this chaotic stuff going on with Hulk, and the Shield guys are there, and the other Avengers are there. The cast that we're following, they're just like, crap. Okay, what's Plan B? Because we can't just go home and be like, we blew it. it was one of those things that we really like. It could be that we were setting up for Loki's TV show and Disney Plus.
Yeah.
For sure.
But it's one of those things where right about now we kind of have to leave Loki alone and focus on our main cast. Our main bit of time travelers.
Speaking on time travel, I want to get down to the main thing about the time travel, which is the quantum realm. So in Ant-Man and Wasp, Janet ages 30 years clearly, right? Yeah. But Scott is in there for what, 5 years, and he ages 5 days.
I think it's just okay. I think that it has to do like exactly where, like, because I think that Janet. It was pretty clear when Hank rescues Janet that they're not in the same place where Scott was stranded.
Right.
They're in another place in the realm. So it's possible that where Janet was, it didn't have the same rules as to where Scott was trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is all, the quantum realm is still kind of a very not well understood area. So, and chances are it may you may be able to go into the quantum realm depending on where you are. You could be frozen pretty much, and time can pass slower than outside in the normal world. In another area, it could pass. The time could sync up.
Right.
So you age normally. Depending on how long you're gone in normal world time.
This is why we need a big DK book of the MCU.
I think there are several. I have a question about the time travel, and I want to put this to Ed. Ed, they were saying about the time travel that it would not change time because you're always going into the future, right? You're not going into the past. You're going into your future, which is the past, but you really can't change time because of the way it works. Did they say something like that?
They said something like that. That basically you
okay.
get.
Well, my question is, Gamora, knocks out Quill, and I mean the Nebula knocked out Quill, and it makes it to me seem like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 could never have happened because they changed so much and didn't fix all that stuff that movie never took place. And if that movie never took place, then how did Thanos and Nebula and Gamora go into the future and take care in the 5 years in the future? And it just the time travel thing, they were saying, oh, Back to the Future never isn't how it works. Well, it seems like it is how it works. Okay. It seems like they changed the timeline so drastically that the entire Marvel universe, cinematic universe, is completely different than the 10 years that we just experienced in the films.
Mark.
Yes.
Okay. First off, they did say that Back to the Future is BS.
Yeah.
However,
which is a real shame.
Yeah, well, however, here's the thing, because remember, Hulk is what, Hulk, Professor Hulk, which, by the way, love Professor Hulk. When
Can I have a selfie?
When Professor Hulk goes back in time to the Battle of New York, he's one of the 3 people that went back to the Battle of New York.
Mm-hmm.
Actually 4, sorry. I keep
4.
Dang it, math! I hate you.
He's one told me there was going to be a math test in this.
Yeah, he was one of the Avengers that went back to the Battle of New York. He ran into the Ancient One,
right,
trying to grab the Time Stone. She explained it to him best, which is what they were doing. It doesn't change. It doesn't change history. It's not Back to the Future style where you go here and all of a sudden you come back and this happened. It splinters the timeline. That's basically what happened. What happened was when they went back, they splintered the timeline. What Cap does at the end of the movie is he's trying to put everything back the way it's supposed to keep as much of the timeline intact. so that things happen, the way that they're supposed to happen in in like the main timeline.
Okay, so he fixed everything. Because there was a lot to fix,
You
and
know
he
what?
still had time to stay with Agent Carter. And
He might. Okay, I don't know if he fixed Loki escaping, or if he went back and woke Quill up so Quill could grab the I think it was the Power Stone.
Right.
From from that planet, but he at least put the idea was he put all the stones back, and he put Mjolnir back. So he tried to lessen the impact of splintering the timeline. But the way I understand it, and the way it's been explained by the Russo brothers after, is that this is not a matter of changing the past so much as it is splintering off the timeline.
Okay.
So that's also how you can have Nebula killing her past self and not not doing a Marty McFly disappearance act.
Right.
That's also how you can have past Gamora now running around in 2023 Marvel.
Is
Marvel
that also
Cinematic
how
Universe.
we could have a multiverse in the Spider-Man movie coming out next month?
If okay, all right. If what we're being told is for real, that is how we can have a multiverse.
Okay.
Mind you, the one talking about it, I don't know. Mind you, the fact that Mysterio is the one talking about this does have me taking it with a grain of salt because, he's a freaking liar.
But it is technically
master of illusion.
It is technically the last movie of the phase, not Avengers Endgame. So, I mean, this could have caused a multiverse.
Maybe not.
Let's not forget that we have those series coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah, I love the fact. I love the fact. Yeah, the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Falcon is now Captain America, so I love that. Yep. That's going to be a great show.
When I heard that they were having a show together, I was thinking, well, that means one of them has to become Captain America.
And he did.
Yep.
A
lot of people were thinking Bucky, though.
Yeah, but I think I've heard reasons as to why Bucky didn't get the shield, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's been mind controlled as Winter Soldier, and I think that Steve, both he and Steve realize it, that he's not, that he is his best friend, but maybe the mantle should go to somebody who's not capable of getting mind controlled like that. And you can see.
I want to talk about my favorite part of the movie, or one of my favorite parts. One of my favorite parts is when they're time traveling and Cap goes after the Tesseract, and he gets into the elevator with all the Hydra guys, but he knows that they're Hydra this time, and he's just like, oh yeah, no, I got it. And he's
Were they all the same actors? Were they all the same actors in that scene?
I believe so.
I don't know. I mean, Crossbones was the same. Definitely.
Yeah.
But that was just awesome when he just goes, "Hail Hydra."
Yeah.
Just walks off with it. That was so good. And also, I gotta say this: I just love America's ass.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm sure you also like Asgardian. I'm sure you like Asgardian ass too, Trish.
Even in dad bod, absolutely.
Even in dad bod, yep. And it's one of, and I can't get mad because it's like, yeah.
But can we please also talk about the part where Cap does the thing? Eddie, I'll let you say it because I know you just about flipped out when Cap did the two different things that just made like it practically had to hold you down in the seat.
Oh yeah, because like we get to the end of the movie, and well, first of all, I mean, honestly, did anybody not expect all the people who were snapped to come back to life?
No, I expected it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was, I know that the Russo brothers were trying to diffuse it and go, hey, maybe not everybody comes back or something. You know what I'm saying? Like they're trying to dull expectations because I'm sure every comic book fan is like, oh yeah, they're coming back. But yeah, I mean, honestly, Cap standing up to Thanos. You just have that moment where, it's Cap all by himself. First off, that message by the Falcon, the whole, on your left. I mean, I was just like, man, is it happening? Is it happening? Then all of them showing up, and we finally get the two words that I've been wanting to hear this entire flipping time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
The way, and it's like, and the thing is, okay, the thing that I got to say is the way it was delivered. Yeah, it's not what I had in my head, because I just had, I thought it would just be this triumphant yell of Avengers Assemble. Instead, it was more like Avengers Assemble. But still, I wasn't cheering. I was roaring.
That was a good line.
I mean, I was just like, hell to the yes. I was like, yes. I mean, I think Trish seriously thought she'd have to like pick me up and like grab me and just sit
the thing is the whole theater, our whole theater that we saw it at erupted.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, you weren't the only one,
yeah.
but you're probably the most exuberant out of everybody.
Oh yeah, well, because I mean, hell, I mean, I've been, I've been an Avengers fan for ages, and it's like, you tell me there's an Avengers movie and there isn't going to be, Avengers, a moment where somebody calls out Avengers Assemble, I'm going to be like, that's not right.
Gosh, that shot to that scene when it's Cap, Iron Man, and Thor going down to face Thanos. It was just like, it was like the original three, going to face him.
The big three
gave me chills.
Oh yeah, and then just the fact that like, and then the fact like before we had the Avengers assembled, there was Cap getting Mjolnir. Like that was awesome. That was awesome. That was, I mean, the minute that like the hammer flew out, I was just like, wait a minute, are they gonna do it? Because Cap has held Mjolnir before, like in the comics. So to get that like on the movie screen was just, oh man, that was just.
And then
awesome.
Thor's reaction, I knew it. That was the best reaction.
Yeah.
I remember in a previous movie, and I don't know if it was in a movie or it was just a video they filmed, that they were trying to pick up Mjolnir, and Captain America kind of half-heartedly, and and
it was Age of Ultron.
It was Age of Ultron, right? Yeah. Right. So Captain America kind of knew he could do it, but he was like, nah.
It's like, I'm not going to take that away from him.
I'm not going to take that away from him.
That's the thing. That's one of the things. They actually said that Cap, that what happened was, at first it's like, wait, is it that he couldn't, there was some fan debate. Is it that he could have lifted it and he chose not to, or, he couldn't lift it all the way? And I think the Russo brothers said, they out and out said, oh no, he could lift it. He chose not to.
Yeah.
It was like, let's, it's not, no, it's no big deal. I don't really need to do this. I mean, it was, yeah. So, I mean, just to see again that, the fact that, yeah, he was worthy, he was worthy. There was another person who was worthy of the power of Thor. That was really cool. That whole ending sequence, the whole last hour where we just have the battle at Avengers Compound was just incredible.
Yeah.
Like I can't even. I mean, I will admit, I'm not like a big fan of Gwyneth Paltrow these days.
Right.
She's done some great work. She's kind of gone. I think she's kind of gone a little off the deep end. But seeing Pepper Potts in the rescue armor, I'm like, oh hell yes, oh hell yes. Seeing everybody come out of the portal, everybody alive again, coming out of the portal, that was great. When Captain Marvel showed up and took down Thanos' flagship, I mean, that was cool. The thing I love about the final battle, I mean, is that almost everybody had some sort of moment, some sort of thing where they got to shine.
When Captain Marvel came back and then all the female heroes attacked at that one time, that was so empowering.
Yeah, the
that
A
was-
Force lineup. That was
Yeah.
the A Force moment. The A Force moment. That was beautiful. That was like, man, that was awesome. That was just really awesome. Seeing all of them together, and having them try to like rush for the rush to get the gauntlet to the
Yeah.
to that quantum device in the back of the van. By the way, did you know that did you know about the surprise cameo in the hero lineup? I mean, I got to admit, I didn't see it. But a friend of mine confirmed it because they saw it the other day.
Oh, I saw Deadpool.
Dead-
I saw Deadpool in that
serious
scene.
answers. Serious answers only.
I'm
Serious
serious.
answers only. Serious answers only. Zion, did you know about the surprise cameo?
I didn't catch it the first time, but I saw it the second time.
Okay. Mark, do you want to? Okay, do you want to?
I don't want to answer it because I saw Deadpool.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
not. Deadpool's not there. Deadpool's not there. I did see somebody say, well, it's been every hero that shows up in that final battle is an MCU hero, and Deadpool was not there.
Okay.
No, there is a surprise cameo. Howard the Duck was in the final.
Okay.
battle.
Yes, he was. He was.
He
You're
was.
right.
He was. He can be seen coming out of one of the portals, apparently holding a laser cannon, which
Well,
I did not.
He was in a previous Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, so he does count as being in Marvel Cinematic Universe.
This is true, and I got it. This is one of the things that makes me want to see it again. Is, to be honest, to catch Howard's cameo, because I'm ashamed to admit I missed it. I think I was too busy. I think he shows up in the same instance as Wasp, I think, and I was too busy seeing Wasp, watching Wasp come out of the portal and go, yeah, there she is. I gotta love Spider-Man's reunion with Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I mean, that was I did, I got the feels. Didn't cry, but I got the feels.
Yeah.
I did get much feels.
Speaking about Spider-Man, I want to ask, do y'all think that he holds Tony higher than Uncle Ben?
No, I don't think so.
Because like we've only heard, no, I think he was indirectly mentioned once in Homecoming, and I don't know, like have y'all seen the most recent trailer of Far From Home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when he's saying that everywhere I see his face and I miss him, I thought he was talking about Uncle Ben.
Mm-hmm.
But he's talking about Tony. Like everything that has an emotional connection to Peter and drives his superhero-ness is supposed to be Uncle Ben, and it being switched to Tony, and with Uncle Ben still being in the universe.
You saw that.
Weird.
Well, you saw. Okay. Well, first of all, I mean, we do. I think it's not. I don't think that Tony Stark has really replaced Uncle Ben. I think it's just that think of it. Okay, well, think of it this way. Imagine you're Peter Parker. Okay, you're Peter Parker, Zion. What has caused you to don the costume was the death of your Uncle Ben. Like that motivation is still there. But here's somebody who comes in and mentors you in in becoming a superhero. Someone who helps mold you, and they get taken from you. So it's not that he replaced Uncle Ben, it's that he was another mentor. He was someone who kind of picked up where Uncle Ben left off, and once again, that father figure, that mentor figure getting taken away. So it's that I think it's kind of, it's more like a kind of a second strike kind of thing. Getting a second chance to have somebody to kind of mentor you and kind of mold you, and then it gets taken away again.
While I do agree, I don't feel like the second mentor thing fits the character of Spider-Man.
Okay. Well, on the other, but also it's also something to consider, which is that a lot of, I mean, we've had the Uncle Ben story already twice before, and one of the things that Homecoming did was, okay, let's have a Spider-Man movie and let's not fall back on we don't need to see Uncle Ben die again. We don't need to go through all that again.
Right.
It's like I can also
So let's
understand
have
the
Tony
mention.
Stark die. Let's have Tony Stark die
Yeah.
so Uncle Ben doesn't have to die again.
He probably did. He probably did die in this universe. The trick is the thing here is, we don't, is to give audiences maybe another character that they've had more time to become emotionally invested in, which in this case is Tony Stark, the father of the MCU.
Yeah.
That's why. I mean, I don't think they're just trying to say. I don't think they're trying to say, to hell with Uncle Ben. They're just like,
No,
we've run this ground before. This is a moment to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to stop it here, guys, but we have to end the show, and maybe we'll talk Avengers Endgame again in the future, or we'll definitely. You know what? When we talk Spider-Man, we'll bring up some of this a little more, but we do have to end it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Mark Baumgarten. I want to thank Eduardo M. Freyre for running this, Patricia Freyre, Victor Von Doom. I'm sorry, Zion Kiros.
Zion, I'm telling you, you are like, I mean, hey, I gotta admit, you got guts. You got guts calling yourself Victor Von Doom, but just like pray that, one day you're not walking to work or school and, this car with diplomatic plates pulls up and they go, get in, and next thing you know, there's Von Doom going, how dare you assume the name of the Lord of Latervia? Who are you to think you are worthy of using the name Doom?
And then he sees my face and then he's like, okay, then carry on.
And Samuel L. Jackson, and I just want to finish by saying Samuel L. Jackson makes too much money for 1 second of camera film. This is
my God.
Here on Odyssey Radio. You will hear us next week.
But hey, you know what? I think, you talk about Samuel Jackson getting 1 second of camera time. I think we do have to shout out to the person who made this possible, Trish.
No, we can talk about that at Spider-Man.
We'll talk about that.
Talk about that Spider-Man, but yeah.
Fury is back at Spider-Man in a bigger role where he deserves the money. So until next time, he deserves the money.
Damn! Wow, you're going to get Samuel Jackson after you.
No, he's going to call me a mother, and I can't say that word. So, until next time, until next time on Odyssey Radio, this is Mark Who 42 saying, so long, Avengers Assemble, and Excelsior. Bye, everyone.
Wow.
Mark Who 42 has been written and presented by Mark Baumgarten, Trish Freyre, Eduardo M. Freyre, Iggy Matthews, and Zion Kiros. Mark Who 42 has been edited, directed, and produced by Mark Baumgarten. The theme music is by Sam Beckwith. Mark Who 42 is owned and copyrighted by Mark Baumgarten 2019. This is Odyssey Radio.